place for everything, and everything in its place. Get out of my house!
692 to control.
Intruder reported at 16 Barbican Road. Possible injury. Paramedics are on their way.
On our way, control. Trying to give them up anyway.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Your first client isn't in for a while yet.
Oh, I just need to sort a few things out.
Sure.
Clear some space. I can't stand clutter.
Everything okay?
Yes, why wouldn't it be?
No reason?
Have I got many appointments?
Just a couple.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to cancel. Could you ring around, give my apologies? Something's come up.
Right, okay. Do you want me to reschedule?
I'm not sure at the moment. If you could tell them I'll be in touch. I should get on.
Okay. I was just going to put the kettle on, actually. Do you fancy a cup of tea?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
All right, Doc.
Let go of me. You're hurting.
What's on your head? Shut it. Stick him in there while I take the doc upstairs.
What have we got, Mickey?
Still trying to piece it together. Neighbour heard screams, dial 999. When we got here, Chummy was up in the bedroom standing over this old lady. She's lying on the floor with a cut head, blood everywhere.
Has he assaulted her?
He says she fell, but I reckon there's more to it than that. She's in a right state, confused. Refuses to let the paramedics touch her. That's why they've called you in.
What's she saying?
Not a lot at the moment. You're the expert, but I'd say she's in shock. It's all right, darling. It's only me.
I'm not your darling. And who's he?
This is the doctor.
Greg Robinson. And you are?
Audrey Blake. How do I know you're a doctor?
Ooh, I've got a stethoscope. Terrible handwriting in the works. I'll take a look.
My other doctor. He makes me laugh, too.
I probably know. What's his name?
I can't remember.
You've had quite a shock.
He came in, shouting at me, waving a rolling pin.
Is that what he used to hit you?
Oh, I'm not sure it all happened so fast. I was trying to get away.
But did he do this to you?
But I didn't do it to myself, did I? Did you catch him?
He's downstairs. You okay here, Doc?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to get away. See, I was trying to get away. I think I fell.
Look, this is ridiculous. I never touched her.
So how do you explain the big lump on her head?
She panicked when she saw me, tried to get away and tripped. I was trying to see she was all right when you turned up. I haven't done anything.
You're joking, right? You scare an old woman half to death, leave her bleeding on the floor of her own home and say you haven't done anything?
Her home?
Well, who does live here then? Mickey Mouse?
No, I do. This is my house.
Sorry it's taken so long.
Oh, that's okay.
I've cancelled your appointments for today. Mr. Gillespie asked about you and Mrs. Hayward sends her love. She says she hopes it isn't anything too serious.
That's nice.
They're very fond of you, aren't they, your clients?
Really?
Yeah. They always come out of your sessions with a smile on the face.
Try and make it enjoyable.
I suppose it's all about trust.
Yes.
I'm sure you're good at that, making people feel safe.
I do my best.
I bet you could make someone feel good just by talking to them.
Sorry.
So sorry, Amanda. I know about the lump on your breast.
Who told you?
I can't go to hospital. Not today.
See? My name, my address.
How long have you been here?
2 years.
Before that?
In Lichfield. With my mother.
Can she verify that?
No. She died.
I'm sorry.
Look, this is absurd. Of course it's my house. They're my clothes in the wardrobe. I knew where the tea bags were.
Fair enough, Mr. Malone. I think you've made your point. You haven't got any biscuits, have you? Oh, thanks.
I'm sorry about her head. I really am. But it was an accident. I'm honestly not in the habit of going around terrorising old ladies.
Less of the old.
Sorry.
You gave me such a shock.
How do you think I felt coming home and finding a strange woman in my bed? Who are you, anyway?
Audrey Blake, that's right, isn't it?
Yes.
Where do you live, Audrey?
Here. Here.
I've put in a call to control. They're making inquiries.
You don't need to make any inquiries. This is my house.
Can't you get her out of here?
Well, in good time. She's had a nasty blow to the head.
We haven't got to the bottom of this yet, have we?
I told you it was an accident.
Let's see if we can find out where she lives. Yeah?
Fancy a biscuit, Audrey?
Offering me biscuits in my own house. Cheek of the man.
I'll take that as a no, then. I always get a bit peckish this time in the afternoon.
I should have got out the best china.
It's the closest thing to best china I've got.
Oh, that tile. It's been like that for ages.
That's right. Yeah.
I should give Keith a piece of my mind when he gets back. He's been promising to fix it for years, never does. That's mem for you.
Who's Keith, Audrey?
He's my husband.
Where is he now?
Oh, he's at work.
Where's that?
Goulburn and Carey.
On Aston Road?
He's in accounts, make sure the men get their wages when they're not going out on strike. Ungrateful beggars.
They closed ages ago, didn't they? Went bust.
Don't be ridiculous.
You're right. It's a used car showroom now.
When are you expecting him back, Audrey?
I'm not sure. Soon, he mustn't be late, though. Andrew and Susan are coming to tea. They're bringing Katie,
Katie?
my granddaughter. Haven't seen her for such a long time.
Oh, why is that?
Susan, I knew the day she met my Andrew, she'd try and take him away from me. You married?
No.
When you do find the right girl, don't forget your mother, will you?
I'll try not to.
I suppose it's only right that Andrew and Susan should have some time together. Keith and I were the same when we got married. But what I find unforgivable is they won't let me see Katie. She could come and stay here. There's plenty of room. And she loved the garden when she was younger.
When was the last time you saw her?
I don't remember. I do forget things sometimes.
Do you know what day of the week it is?
Same as it was 7 days ago.
Good answer. Do you know who the Prime Minister is?
What's that got to do with anything?
I just wondered if you knew who it was.
What is this, 20 questions? Anyway, it doesn't matter who it is. Politicians are all the same. Make every promise under the sun, then let you down. just like my Andrew.
How has he let you down, Audrey?
He promised he would always look after me. He was only 7. He was just back from school. I got him his favourite tea, crumpets. He used to love crumpets, steaming hot with lots of butter. He was sitting where you are now, and he said, "Thanks for looking after me so well, Mummy. I was so proud." And then he said, "When I'm grown up, I'm going to look after you. I'm going to buy the house next door, and when I get a job, I'm going to bring you crumpets every day." I remember it like it was yesterday.
And he's coming round to have tea with you today.
Is he? Is he bringing Katie? Oh, I must phone Keith and get him to bring some Kate and crumpets. Oh, Andrew loves crumpets. And he loves me. He says.
What's the matter, Audrey?
Well, that was a long time ago. But he still loves me. I know he does. He still loves me.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. No, you've got enough to worry about.
I'm still trying to come to terms with it.
Jimmy said you're finding it difficult.
Did he?
Look, you've got to try and stay positive. It might be benign. My mum had a lump years ago and they whipped it out, and she's been as white as rain ever since.
Lucky her.
I know it's difficult to talk about. Do you want me to phone Jimmy?
No, he's out on visit. Just a little surprise, that's all.
Yes, so was my mum.
No, that he mentioned it to you.
Well, so was I, to be honest, but I think he just needed to get it off his chest. Sorry.
It's okay. Just leave me alone for a while.
Yeah, of course. But remember, if you need me, you know where I am.
Jimmy, it's Amanda. Call me.
Can you remember when you bought this place, Audrey?
I'm not sure. Some time ago, I think. £4,000 it cost. Can you imagine that? A whole house for £4,000. Oh, it was a struggle at first. Keith wasn't earning very much, and I was at home, looking after Andrew. You married?
No, I haven't met the right woman yet.
What about you?
I haven't met the right woman either. Trouble is, I married her.
Oh, we're very happy here, our family. Andrew gets home from school and we spend a couple of hours together, just the two of us. He tells me about his day and I help him with his homework. Then Keith gets home in the evening and we have a meal. But then Andrew has to go to his room. It's grown-up time.
How old is he?
Who?
Andrew.
They grow up so fast, don't they? Have you got children?
6.
Oh, good heavens.
Tell me about it. Have to do loads of overtime.
But that must be expensive, all those mouths to feed.
It is, yeah. But I do the overtime, so I don't have to go home and see them all.
I remember the first time he brought her home.
Who?
Susan. I did tell you about Susan, didn't I?
Married Andrew.
She had some very modern views about certain things. She seemed to make him happy. And I always wanted to be a grandmother. I remember the first time they brought Katie over. I was sitting right here in this chair. Or it might have been that one. Did we move the furniture? But it was this room, I know it was this room. And I held her in my arms. Oh, she was so tiny. But she wasn't sleeping. Croup. Terrible thing, croup.
Yes.
But I'd had the same thing with Andrew, you see. Oh, he was in such a panic, seeing his precious baby coughing away, but I knew what to do. That was a good thing, too, because that Susan didn't have a clue. Where was it?
Katie's croup.
A good old-fashioned bowl of steaming water. Soon calmed her down. And then I sang to her, just like I used to sing to Andrew, and she drifted off to sleep. Where are you going, my little one, little one? Where are you going, my baby, my own? Turn around and you're 2, turn around and you're 4, turn around, you're a young girl going out of the door.
Turn around, turn around, turn around, and you're a young girl going out of the door.
You do go home sometimes then?
I do, yeah.
And then he was gone. Stopped coming to see us. Susan wouldn't have it. Keith couldn't bear it. Oh, he wasn't bothered about her, but Katie. He loved his grandchild. We both do. Well, he'll tell you he'll be in soon.
From Goulburn and Carey.
Yes, that's right. How did you know? Do you know him? Because he's about your age.
Andrew.
That was silly. Andrew's only 7. I mean, Keith. Who are you, anyway? What are you all doing in my house?
Put a shout out for an Audrey Blake. No one of that name is reported missing.
She knows the house very well. She clearly used to live here.
Must have been a while ago.
Who did you buy the house from?
The Baxters. They were splitting up. Been here a few years, though.
This place obviously means a lot to her. How's your head, Audrey?
Much better. How did it happen?
You fell.
Not very careless of me. I should see the doctor.
Yes, you were telling me about him earlier.
What's his name? Lives on Sexton Drive. Nice man, Irish.
Dr. O'Farrell.
That's the one.
He used to be my GP for a while when I first moved here. He retired last year.
He delivered Andrew. He was born right here. Seems like yesterday.
How long ago was it really?
I'm not sure.
Okay, what year was he born?
I know that. 1974, 3-day week, power cuts. Andrew was born by candlelight. Oh, Mr. Heath's fault. He's not married, you know. Never trust a man who isn't married. That's who it is.
Sorry, who is?
The Prime Minister. You asked me and I couldn't quite remember. I get a bit confused sometimes. It's Mr. Heath. Oh, this was always a happy house. Andrew was born here and married from here.
To Susan?
I never liked her.
And then Katie was born?
Yes, that's right.
And then you stopped seeing so much of them after that?
Susan wouldn't let me see Katie. She said I put funny ideas into her head. Well, that's rich coming from her. And Keith took it very badly. Katie was the apple of his eye. He'd always had problems with his heart, and that was the final straw. That's what killed him. He died of a broken heart, and it was all her fault. She took my son away, and then she killed my husband. I'll never forgive her for that, never.
And what happened then?
At least they came to the funeral, that's something.
And did you continue living here?
It wasn't the same. Keith used to do so much, and suddenly I was all on my own. And still, Andrew never came to see me. I never saw my son. I never saw my granddaughter. Never. And then one day did come, with Dr. O'Farrell.
And what did they say?
Oh, the doctor did most of the talking. And Andrew was just too embarrassed. I think he found it very difficult. Do you think it's possible to love someone too much? I think that might be the problem with Andrew. He loves me too much. He always has. And that's why he couldn't tell me himself about me having to move.
There's a funny thing happens with your parents. They've looked after you all your life, then suddenly you're the parent and they're like the kid.
Dr. O'Farrell was very nice about it. Always very formal. Never first names. Not like some doctors today. I'm sorry, Mrs. Giles, he said.
Sorry, I thought you said your name was Blake. Audrey Blake.
That was my maiden name when Mr. Churchill was the Prime Minister. No, when I marry Keith, I'm Audrey Giles now. Where was I?
The doctor was talking to you.
He told me I'd have to leave, that I couldn't look after myself anymore. I didn't want to look after myself. I'd spent all those years looking after Andrew. It was his turn now, and he loves me. I know he does, because he told me all those years ago. He promised that he'd look after me.
So where do you live now, Audrey?
Not sure.
Audrey Giles, Woodley Residential Home. They reported her missing about an hour ago. Her son's on his way.
Andrew. Andrew's coming to see me.
I'm sorry about before. Opening my big mouth like that, I didn't mean to upset you.
You took me by surprise, that's all. I didn't realise that Jimmy had told you.
Well, it could have been anyone. I just happened to be in the right place, right time.
Somehow I doubt that. Listen, if you wouldn't mind keeping this to yourself for a while until we've decided exactly what to do.
Yeah, of course.
I've got some big decisions to make about the future. Something like this makes you reassess your priorities.
Well, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm back at work in no time, right as rain.
We'll see.
Tell me about Woodley, Audrey.
It's too hot. I hate the food. The television is on all the time. It's full of old people.
Does Andrew visit you there?
Sometimes. But he never rings Katie. So I thought I'd invite them all here for tea. Keith's getting cakes.
Keith's dead, Audrey. You told me.
I know that. Have you got a mother?
She died.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's a terrible thing, isn't it, being on your own?
Yes.
Were you close?
She was my life.
Oh, you poor man. So you're on your own too?
Well, it shouldn't be too much longer now. Okay. Cheers, bye.
She's making another pot of tea. Made herself right at home.
It's a tricky thing, dementia. Manifests itself in so many different ways. Sudden mood swings, occasional moments of lucidity. Being in this house may have helped.
Really?
Well, yeah, she associates this place with happier times. It's probably what drew her here in the first place.
So, if she was still living here, she wouldn't be quite so ill?
Well, I'm not saying that. She still needs specialist care. Woodley will be doing the best they can for her, but some people find it really hard to adapt to residential care after they've been living independently for so many years.
Shame, really. She seems harmless enough.
She is. Still needs a lot of looking after, though.
I'll see how she's doing with that tea.
Excuse me. I'm looking for my mother, Audrey Giles.
Oh, yes. I'm Greg Robinson. I'm a doctor. It's all right. Your mum's had a bit of a knock to the head, but it's nothing serious.
The last time she went walkabout, she got arrested for shoplifting. Fortunately, I managed to persuade them she wasn't all there. She needs watching all the time.
Alzheimer's?
Started about 8 years ago, not long after my father died. She went downhill fast. I was coming around here morning, noon and night, reminding her how the toaster worked, helping her find her false teeth. It all got too much. She wanted to come and live with us.
Yeah, she said your wife wasn't very keen.
Susan, she was okay. I was the one who was dead against it. I've not been back here since she left. Do you get on all right with your parents?
Yeah, pretty much. We all seem to rub along okay.
Happy families. It's a myth. Come on, let's get this over with.
You sure you don't mind?
Be my guest. Ah, I knew I had one somewhere.
I don't approve of tea bags.
The sweepings from the factory floor, that's what my nan used to say.
My mother was just the same. Always insisted on making a proper pot. I tend not to bother, I'm afraid. Bag in a mug does for me.
You need someone to look after you properly. Get yourself a wife.
Take mine, please.
Someone here to see you, Audrey.
Are you the owner? I'm sorry about this, I really am. What have you gone and done now?
Keith?
Here we go again.
It's Andrew, Audrey, your son.
No, Andrew's not here. He's still at school.
See what I have to put up with?
Did you get the cakes, Keith? Andrew's coming to tea. He's bringing Katie.
I was wondering, could I invite her around to visit? Just occasionally, you know, so she could be somewhere that makes her feel happy. Even if it's just for an hour or so.
I don't see why not. Although you might have to check with her son first.
Come on, your dinner's waiting.
I hate their food.
I don't think he'll mind, do you?
Thank you so much, all of you. You've been very kind.
You're welcome.
Sorry I broke in.
It's okay.
I don't think we'll be pressing charges.
I forget I don't live here anymore. I mean, how silly is that?
It's probably just old age, Audrey, love.
No, I think it's something much worse than that. Thank you.
I will see you again, okay?
Oh, you don't want to be wasting your time with a silly old bat like me?
Actually, I do.
I'd like that very much.
What about me? Don't I get one?
Goodbye, dear. Thank you for letting me come back home.
Come on.
He's all heart, isn't he?
Thanks.
No problem. Look, if ever you want to talk to someone, Jimmy too. It's at times like this you find out who your friends are, isn't it?
Yes, but ultimately Jimmy and I are going to have to deal with this together. Just the two of us.